Virtual reality has been around for a while, but when it first became popular, it was quite pricey and offered nothing but glorified tech demos. Developers are creating first-party games and improving ports that make full use of the medium as a result of the availability of VR devices that are both affordable and capable. There are excellent virtual reality games in almost every category, and our list ought to include at least a few of them for the enthusiasts. And today, we have a great Oculus game that will keep you playing for hours. Hubris looks pretty fantastic. The astonishing potential of virtual reality games that can be played on personal computers has been highlighted by screenshots and early clips that were made public by the Belgian developer team Cyborn. A large number of individuals got the opportunity to investigate the dazzling sci-fi universe and to have a look behind the scenes of movies and screens during the Gamescom 2022 convention. Hubris is a virtual reality game that is breathtaking in its presentation. It does not appear that there is much cause for optimism based on the images that have been made public thus far. On the other hand, additional content is necessary in order to deliver a comprehensive virtual reality experience. Since its founding in 1998, the animation firm that is now known as Studio Cyborn has garnered a reputation for being an industry leader in the field of 3D animation. The work that Cyborn did on Hubris stands out due to the fact that they utilized a Vicon Shogun motion capturing technology, which is also utilized in major feature productions that are made in Hollywood. The video game Hubris starts off with a brief tutorial that takes place when the player is boarding a starship. This tutorial appears to fill up the first few minutes of gameplay. Our learning is facilitated and made more enjoyable by the obstacle course, which enables us to become more familiar with the game's dynamics. After that, a coworker gives us instructions on the task at hand and activates a hologram of a higher-ranking officer for us to see. Following that, we are able to observe the hologram. It is the first time that either the high level of detail that has been invested into the faces of the NPCs or the fluidity with which the characters move is made evident to the player. Both of these aspects of the game have been greatly improved. Additionally, this is the only moment that the player is allowed to observe both of these things simultaneously for the very first time. Their distinct facial characteristics can be made out, and the actions of their bodies as well as the expressions on their faces accurately match what they are saying. In addition to that, it is feasible to distinguish the various features of each of their faces. It is sad that the demo did not feature a significantly larger amount of mind-blowing narrative content comparable to that which was shown here. Before we move further down the video, if you want to stay updated with the latest VR trend in tech, consider subscribing to our channel to stay on the loop. With that said, let's get back to the video. The experience of swimming in virtual reality may be both beautiful and natural. After landing, we were immediately dropped into the water, and from the very beginning of the virtual reality game, we were put through one of the parade disciplines. We have never experienced such a lifelike swim in virtual reality before. Swimming strokes drives you forward, and if you want to get higher or deeper, you have to change your motions accordingly. The controls are straightforward and easy to understand. The water animations are highly realistic and bring the player very near to the experience of really diving. Small fish swim around you while you observe the stunning light reflections that dance across the surface of the water. Underwater plants move back and forth slowly. Now if we come across octopuses that will attacking us anytime if we are spotted. The best way to eliminate them is with a harpoon gun. That's pretty cool. Furthermore, we will have to cram their tentacles into a makeshift blender in order to get through a narrow passageway in the cave that is located nearby. We will be able to traverse the chasm with the help of a rope made of rubber. In this initial part of the game, Hubris deftly combines elements of puzzle solving and adventuring. Away from the dives, you will be required to solve environmental puzzles and climbed along rock walls, jumped over stone platforms, traveled through a tunnel system, and more. Cyborn utilizes tried-and-true mechanisms for the climbing areas of the game. The climbing in the demonstration is so lengthy that it will make you feel as though you are climbing in the famous VR game The Climb 2. We either grab hold of improvised handholds that have been constructed on the rock faces, or we grab hold of granite edges and ledges that have been marked. Both of these methods are helpful in their own way for a variety of reasons. Because of this, the one and only point of the climb in which Hubris is unable to reach perfection is the one in which it is climbing a platform. This works out really wonderfully. It is necessary to start the procedure over from the beginning, since you keep slipping off the rock as you are attempting to pull yourself up onto it. When leaping, it might be difficult to determine the best location from which to launch oneself, and as a consequence, once you jump, you generally find that you have landed in the water. Increasing the amount of effort that one puts in is the single most effective technique to go forward more quickly. In the latter part of our quest, we have to use nibbles to divert the attention of a swarm of hostile alien species so that we can get a weapon. After that, we are given the opportunity to shoot the hostile land piranhas. But the demo does not provide us with any actual shooter action. Hubris figures prominently into Cyborn's ambitious aspirations. It's supposed to be the start of a brand new sci-fi universe. CEO and game director Yves Aichmann says, "This is the start of a galactic tale that will span platforms, genres, and mediums, and we think Hubris VR Premiere is the perfect way to launch players to our compelling cosmos." Except for the outstanding visual presentation, we are of the view that Hubris does not have all that much to offer at this point in time in the form of new and fascinating material. The only exception to this is the game's excellent graphics. After a little while, the incredible visuals of the game fade into the background, and the gameplay becomes the primary focus of attention for the duration of the experience. This type of event occurs with a reasonable amount of regularity. In this section, Cyborn makes an effort to give a large range of alternatives. Nevertheless, it nearly never adds its own distinctive spin to the already available content, which is quite disappointing. In its place, the production team takes use of tried-and-true gameplay principles in order to construct something that might be seen as a type of review of all VR gaming elements that have been launched over the course of the preceding few years. It is not yet known for certain whether or not Hubris will be able to effectively convince spectators over the entirety of the game, which is anticipated to run anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. The VR game Hubris has to supply a large amount of additional content than it does at the moment in order for it to be considered really engaging. In spite of this, we just cannot contain our excitement to find out what the plot, the characters, and the action will have in store for us. However, it is quite improbable that Half-Life Alyx will be the next game in the series. The series is likely to continue with another installment. There is a rather little chance that this will take place. There is a good possibility that the series may proceed with another part at some point in the future. In the course of this year, it is planned that the virtual reality game, known as Hubris, will at some point be made accessible for usage on personal computers. We believe there is significant untapped potential within the gaming world. With that, what are your opinions on this topic? Let us know down in the comments below. Do you believe that we need a virtual reality game similar to Hubris? Share your thoughts on that as well. Thanks for watching everyone, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.